Hello. Hello. Working. Yeah. Nice. So lunchtime is over. So you can start again. महेश भैया शुरू किया जाए. One video is turned off. एक वीडियो बंद है उसमें. No video. And that recorder, no voice recorder. No, that voice recorder was there, no. Yeah. So it is time for assignment now. We'll share your assignment. You have to see how sincerely you have done it. Yes, yours is there. Nice. So let Supraja Didi come. Then we can have a look at the groups that were formed. In the meantime, we can discuss anything that occurs to you. Yeah, please take a mic.
Bhaiya, we were talking about this traditional psychology and positive psychology. Last month, we were discussing about modern psychology. We discussed the schools, the different schools of psychology. So what I feel after like going through this is modern psychology like evolved from traditional psychology. After researching a lot on traditional psychology, they were able to build some structure based on the traditional psychology, because the traditional psychology has also already laid its foundation. So it has started exploring things, it has started working on psychology, and from there they collected points and they started working on this modern psychology. And positive psychology is built on modern psychology, keeping modern psychology as the base. It has formulated its own theory. Am I right, Bhaiya?
Yeah, so let me clarify. Last time we were discussing, no, so we were calling the 6 schools as modern psychology. The same is being termed as traditional here because we are avoiding the word Eastern and Western. Basically, it is Western psychology in the tradition that is started in 1889 or 1887. Okay. Now this is a new development, so they are calling it as the positive psychology, and you can call it modern also based on those six schools being called as traditional psychology. So yes, of course, whatever happens next is having its base on whatever happened in the past. So earlier people, like if you look at the history of psychology, earlier psychology was not considered as a science. It was a part of philosophy. If you look at the oldest psychology in the West, it was developed by Aristotle, Plato, Socrates. Those people were involved. And they also laid down the foundation of psychology, but in terms of sociology, social theories or philosophy. Okay, but with the scientific experiments conducted in structuralism, they started calling it as a separate branch of science. So we started from here. Otherwise, we can go to the deep roots when Aristotle and Socrates were there. That also we can discuss. Now, going by all that, they concluded that these people are only talking about the problem side. In fact, if you look at Aristotle and Socrates, they were also talking about two different kinds of psychology. One is the hedonic psychology, and the other is one technical term that is for sustained happiness. So they were also talking about that. They say that pleasures are very temporary happiness, right? They ensure temporary happiness, but we can have programs of sustained happiness. But then people started calling it as subjective, and they did not focus much on that. Now in 19th century, with the scientific experiments coming in with structuralism, people again started paying attention to this and called it as a branch of science. I think Sir can better tell about that. And then now this modern, tradition has come. It is like that. I can share some notes where the oldest traditions of psychology in the West can be shared.
when I just did look into this modern psychology, it was just giving me this idea of how people come up with some ideas. Like, for example, for if you just consider dieting, there was this crash dieting earlier, and then came the keto dieting, and then came the intermittent dieting. Like, so when you just say, like, whenever they propose an idea, what they claim is like this, their idea is the best, and this is what is going to give you the best result.
Yeah.
So similarly, all these psychologists who had proposed the idea, they were trying to say that their theory is the best. But after practicing for a while, we understand that there is some flaw in each and every psychology, in the schools of psychology.
In place of flaw, I'll call limitation. So that's why, in UHV, if you see, we are not saying this is the proposal or the solution. We are saying it is proposal for self-exploration. I'll go on exploring further and developing it further. The basic essence has to be clear that we have to reach to the full human potential. We have to work for human tradition. We have to work for universal human order, a human society. With that in view, and we can see the potential within to realize the whole existence as coexistence. We can work out various ways and means. If you look at the format of workshops 20 years back, it was largely different. Now the workshop has become also in some sense like we are using PPTs, we are using pointers, right? We are using video sessions, and then we are having group activities, case studies. So it is gradually evolving. Okay. So essentially, as I see, people are trying to explore the reality. Not only that, some person is looking from one corner and maybe calling his corner the best corner. See, in Jainism, there is a story, that 7 people were blind and they were touching an elephant. And everybody was describing elephant in his or her own way. So somebody who was touching the feet was calling it as a pillar. Somebody who was touching the tail was calling it a broom. Somebody who was touching the stomach was calling it a wall, right? But they were trying to see the same reality. So only that we have to open our eyes. If you are looking with blindfolded eyes, then the reality can't be seen in completeness. If you have our eyes open, then we can see this for sure. But yeah, this is not working, I think. I think it is a matter of distance. I'm sitting here, no, long distance. Yeah, fine. Oh, eh? Yeah, I can, but the slide will not be visible. I can sit here. Is the slide visible? Okay.
So by UHVs, through UHV, we are talking about here.
Yes.
Through UHV, we are talking about happiness.
Yes.
So basic human aspiration is happiness and the continuity of happiness. And from what I have read from positive psychology, I can understand that even positive psychology is also stressing on this fact about happiness. So at the end of the day, it is all about happiness. So how
Yeah.
are you understanding this happiness through positive psychology?
Yeah. In fact, now they are also saying well-being and happiness is two different things. So they are calling happiness as temporary happiness and well-being as sustained happiness. What we are saying is continuity of happiness. Why only sustained continuity? Okay. And in the Indian tradition, if you see, we have been talking about Paramanand and a continuity of happiness, the eternal bliss, right? So they are talking about well-being. In Indian tradition, people are talking about eternal bliss. We say that if we simplify this, we are only trying to aspire for continuity of happiness. We call it sustain. Yeah, fine. Acha, acha. Okay, okay. I can sit here. Yes. Then I can see on that side maybe. But in the camera, my back will be visible. Fine, it will work. Nothing. Yes, you take this then. Yes. Any other question?
Bhaiya,
Ji.
here Bhaiya. I have one question. So there is something called as happiness index. So there are few parameters for measuring the index. So actually, what's happening is happiness is it varies from different countries, different regions. Certain things are different. What in India we are trying to do is we are trying to find or we are trying to achieve the Western goals uh, with Indian context by living inside Indian context. That's not possible. It's not actually we are not realizing that. So if we have the same happiness index parameters and measure us, we'll be definitely low. So is it okay that we are having universally the same, whatever the index is currently it's being followed? Is it okay with UHV or is it not?
Let us develop some indices which are naturally acceptable and which can be universally acceptable. So for example, we can develop indices based on harmony at 4 levels. So they are having 4 parameters. We can also develop 4 parameters, and let us float it as a proposal. Okay. Now, if you say per capita income, it does not actually indicate prosperity. If you say freedom, it does not actually represent the fulfillment in relationship. One may be having a lot of freedom. If you look at the new generation, Gen Z, they are valuing this freedom very much. Now, the movies, if you see that they are coming, no, they are talking about freedom, right? It's my own life. I have to live it my own way. Why should the parents decide for me? I have to decide on my own. And in the movie, you'll see that ultimately they are suffering out of their own choices, and the whole movie goes like that. So freedom is not the basic aspiration. The basic aspiration is definiteness of conduct. The basic aspiration is harmony. Okay, by fulfilling relationships, by uh, uh, understanding and living in harmony at all levels. So that we have to focus. Now the challenge would be, say for example, one index is harmony at the level of individual. Now how do we measure the harmony at the level of individual? So we can have measures for lack of harmony of at the level of individual. How many people are taking medicines for anxiety and all those things, depression and all. That can be measured. How many people are having psychological disorders, right? Then similarly in the family, if you see, or in relationships, how many quarrels, splits in the family, feuds are taking place. That all we can measure. Similarly in the society, how many, like commotions, how many riots, how many fights, all those things are taking place in the society. We can measure, and based on that, we can make an evaluation. If in fact the irony is that the Scandinavian countries, if you see, they are having the highest position in these indices, right? Now, if you go and see there, the divorces are more than 53% in every Scandinavian country. Now, if you are having divorce in the family, will it be a happy family? Will the children be happy? So, how can you say that is a happy society when there are so many divorces? Only that the social protection is there. Women can roam around at night, you know, and they feel that they are completely secure because the police system is very strict. So maybe one is only into merrymaking and enjoying the freedom, but does it really make a happy society? If I am spending time with my family, with my children, with my spouse, right, taking care of them, I am happier. But that may not be indicated by those indices. So actually, we have to work on these lines. They have developed indices which keeps them on a higher pedestal. Now you can see we are feeding 150 crore people without exploiting any other country, right? And in the West, if you see population being less than 1 crore and they have to exploit the rest of the world, they have to make nuclear weapons to sustain their economy, or they have to make the whole country a kind of tourist place to fetch income from outside. They cannot produce anything on their own. What is this? So you have to see. In fact, the Scandinavian countries were the Dutch invaders in the past who came to India, like Portuguese and Dutch invaders were the first to invade India. Right. Now, if you are invading other countries to be happy, so what kind of flourishing or prosperity it is? It is not there. So we have to actually develop our own indices. That is a prime requirement. Yes, that we have to do. Nice. So I'll discuss about this further. Only thing is that now we have the time for assignment. So Suprita Didi is here. You have to announce those groups and the groups will come and present here. Okay, then please come one by one. You can. Yeah. Yes, yes. Yeah, so I think we can start with the posters. All of us can come and see the posters. Or if it permits, then we can bring the boards here. Is it possible? So everybody can see and we can focus the camera also. So we can turn, but the camera may not go there. Focus that much? I don't know what kind of image it would be. Huh? If it is possible, then we can do. It has wheels or not? No. We can also hold. Oh, fine, fine. I am also coming. Yes. Yeah, this way we can have. Yeah, but there they cannot see. No, let us put it. They can shift the camera like that. But can you see from that side? They cannot see. Eh? Yes. So we have the first group by Dr. Senthil, Dr. Prakash, Dr. Uma, and Dr. Divakar. Yes, yes, Dr. Divakar, please come. Ah, okay, yeah. Yes, 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 yes. So please come and explain. Oh, sir, you are. Please, sir. No, you take a mic. Or you can use this.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good
Silence,
afternoon, everyone.
please.
Fine. So, all of us went to ChatGPT. All of us went to type the same thing, and I think we have sent the image directly what Rajul sir has sent. And it attracted and it gave the thing. We didn't bother to type it. So, hello? So all of us went to ChatGPT. We didn't bother to type. We just put the image what was sent in the WhatsApp group and they let it read, and it is reading it very well. We tried, and there is no need to explain even that board also. I think that board can be staying there. Here, all the board can be the same thing is there. So anyway, we cannot change the perspectives. We cannot change the schools, and if you have used your official email ID in ChatGPT login, that it will note down all the people in SRM AST are asking for this. So it will give a psychology department a carbon footing. So our digital presence is increasing in ChatGPT. Thank you for that. And anyway, we have already seen that from the basics, like everyone. I just want to give the idea what it is giving. Structuralism, we already discussed. It is all about structures. So what are we if we are asking? We are our bones and organs, if we say so. That is what structuralism. So we are not bothered about the functions that what our bones and organs are doing. So structuralism, as ma'am was telling, every time the school, they are changing the school and they are upgrading, they are leaving. So it is like we are coming from a very dark age regarding human behavior. So every stage we achieved something. As Sir was rightly pointing out, we had some limitations in each and every school. And actually, literature people here, they will be very much fond of this structuralism because all the literary theory, the basic theory, and modern, um, deconstruction starts from structuralism. So our language development starts from structuralism only. So if you are asking 25-year-old, what is the toy you need? They will be telling PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6, and something like that. If you are asking a 1-year-old kid, rattle is enough for me. Like consider this is a rattle for a 1-year-old, and this is a PlayStation for a 30-year-old. So every stages we have crossed, and now I am very much happy that UHB is putting forth an Indian-based um, presentation of psychology. Maybe soon, I think this may be in our syllabus in another 5 or 10 years. This may be in our syllabus because we were taught in psychology first year, first semester itself. These are various belief systems. Consider these are various belief systems. There is no need for like I follow structuralism, I follow psychodynamics, I follow socio-cultural. When you see everything, it will be engaging everything. Still, after all these ideas about human being, you will find a gap that is dark always about human behavior. It is still to be explored. It is further to be explored. So this entire cells are same everywhere you can go. But the observation I want to share, so each school contributes as a different lens for human behavior. That's all. Different shade, different lens. As a teacher, I use behaviorism for discipline in my class. So I want students to focus on me. I apply the behaviorism principles. What is that behaviorism principle? I am teaching, you are listening. And you have been conditioned since kindergarten till undergraduation and post-graduation. So classical conditioning is happening. We cannot deny. We cannot deny behaviorism. I'm against behaviorism, but we cannot deny behaviorism because 95% of people are normal in the society, in this country. That's why we are a peaceful country. Only 5% are deviants because we have been conditioned not to go out of the line. We always go, finish our education, go to college, get the job, salary, build a house, live a life, die. So we have a system. We have been conditioned all these things. There is a negativity in it and there is a positivity in it. Like we are surviving 75 years of independence. I think one famous ah so it is like everyone wants to make other one see what is then the same like that. So we are conditioned to do something, and we cannot deny that conditioning. We cannot deny that conditioning. That's what I'm saying. Are we comfortable? Let us go into that. Let us explore that. Are we comfortable in denying rules? Or can I ask you something like you are getting inside SRM campus? Can you walk, go to class, survive inside the campus without this ID card on your neck? No, no one is going to kill you. No one is going to put you behind. Huh? Our last day of resignation, we will do it, no problem. But while you are doing in that, we have been accustomed to do that. Okay. Now we are not trusting. We are trusting only the punch in time and punch out time only. So no, all of us have teachers. Hmm. That was half an hour before. I think before lunch, I was mentioning. For some people doing the mistake, we are putting rules for everyone.
Exactly.
The same thing.
Rules no relation. அவங்க இன்னும் ஏமாத்துறவங்க இன்னும் அதிகமா ஏமாத்துறாங்க சார். நம்ம தான் மாட்டிட்டு
That is
முழிக்கிறோம்.
the point. How many of you hate exams? How many of you hate this system? Now I'm telling. So if you are telling where School of Psychology is acting in action, I'm telling where it is in action. Your class, your exam, your rules, your punch in time, punch out time, your appraisal comes from behaviorism. You have this bell curve, right? Who are appeared, done this, done that, and the A faculty, B faculty, C faculty comes from
அந்த
behaviorism.
பெல்க வர வைக்க நானே 5 பசங்களை கூப்பிட்டு டே நீ 5 பேருக்கு இந்த வாட்டி கம்மி பண்ணிடுற
Positive feedback.
5 பேருக்கு ஏத்தி போடுற நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் ரொட்டேஷன்ல மாத்தி
So
நான் பெல்க வர வைக்கணும்
we cannot deny the presence of this. We can be having an opposite opinion. Why we are being like measured like a herd of animals or something like that? We can think. So that is behaviorism. And you might have prepared instructional designs, lesson plans in FSH. We are doing that handout recently. We are doing that. All are doing it. Because of you, we are also getting spoiled. So last year, this practice was not there. Last year, they did not ask any Excel sheet. This time, I am worried whether I am a psychology faculty or a computer faculty. Working in the Excel only I am doing. So this time I got a name from my subordinate, sir, you are not micromanaging nowadays. Why? Then I was thinking, no, I am seeing the pressure in your head. It is visible to me. I don't want to yell at you. You are already in the trouble. If you are finishing it, you complete it. If you are not finishing it, report to team that this is the reason. That's all. So that is another thing. Why we are very much disturbed when we are planning that handout is that. Can't we take the Excel sheet handout and put it in ChatGPT and let the ChatGPT give it or not? Can't we accept that? Yes. Can we stand a machine to instruct what we are going to teach? We have a different of opinion on that. We want us to design. It is not happening. It's not following. But I'm not saying, ma'am, I'm giving you an idea. I'm giving an idea. You try. I don't think 99% of teachers will never agree with that. Sir, let ChatGPT design your instructional design. For document purpose, it is okay. But are we going to follow it? Are we stand the fact that the system is going to instruct us? We have this cognitive autonomy. Whatever I'm going to teach, I will design it, I will write, and I want it to be happening 100%. Okay, that is where our cognitivism comes in. Our thinking happens. No, I cannot stand irony. So they say all the classes should go on time. And at the 10th minute, HOD calls, there is an event in TRP, send all the students to go. So our irony is like that we are coming into the class, preparing and everything. So our entire cognitive practice gets hit the roadblock. So that is where our cognitivism works. Are you getting it? So we cannot deny any of the schools. We cannot deny any of the schools. But one thing we can be so sure, after as there is an example was given by Sir, we used to give that the dark elephant in a dark room. People, 4 blind people trying to identify a dark elephant in a dark room. One person touches the trunk and say this is elephant. One person touches the tail, that is the elephant. But none of them told the full truth. But whatever they have done is true. We have never seen that. We have never seen the full thing. And for my knowledge and my experience, I can say it is very hard for an individual or a single human being to analyze the entire human structure of the universe. It is very difficult. It is very, very difficult. So whenever people ask me, psychologists can give counseling, no, I can say, no, they cannot. Psychologists cannot give counseling. We are attracted to the fact that there is something fascinating in human behavior. The name itself, it is very clear. It is not counseling, it is psychology, meaning that we are studying that thing as we are exploring here. So there is a limitation, even when we will say, for example, after 5 years, there will be another column here, UHV perspective also can be here. Okay, so even that also, we will have some shortcomings. We have to upgrade certain things. So we are now living up to this. Humanistic is the ideal where we want to treat all the other human beings in the godly constructs or something like that. And positive is also ideal. We are expecting to be happy and we are trying to make things in the way. But generally, no single school explains psyche fully, but together they provide a holistic framework. There is still room for exploration. That is what our team's presentation. Myself, Dr. Prakash, Dr. Uma Mageshwari, and Divagar sir. Thank you very much. About other schools. Which sir? Yes. So, sir is asking. Now I have asked ChatGPT, but different question I asked. So it is where I wanted to use this as a teacher. I want to use structuralism as a teacher. How I can use? So I can easily break down the mental process of who is listening to the class or who is not listening to the class. If I am able to, with my experience, if I am able to identify that, then the teacher is applying structuralism there. Now you are looking at me, but you are not listening to me. I know that because I'm a 20 years old teacher, 10 years old teacher. I know that very well. Meaning that you are applying structuralism there. You can analyze sensation and feelings of students. And again, in functionalism, if I want to have an interactive class, if I want to make the student participate in the class, then I am following functionalism, the instructional design. And as a teacher, if I am uh, trying to understand the student's struggles, 9:05 the class starts, 9:15 a student comes in. Everywhere we start to yell at them. Everywhere we start to tell them. But one student, we know that he is working late night part-time job and everything. So that student, we are not yelling, okay, you come in, and then we are giving some space for the people, those who are suffering. That is where psychodynamic is working. He is studying and the student is working, and student has a genuine delay. We don't know about other students. So I am giving some emphasis on individuals. That is psychodynamics. And behaviorism, as I told you, rehearsal, reinforcement, CT1, CT2, all the things I'm doing, assignment I'm giving, everywhere, entire education system, modern education system or higher education in India follows behaviorism only. You write, I will give you mark. I don't care whether you are having it in your mind, I want it in a paper. That is what in the behaviorism. And the cognitivism is that uh, I am looking into the ways to improve my teaching. That is helping in pedagogy and instructional designs. And sociocultural is that how can I make a peer influence? How can I make group learning possible? How can I make, like when we are here, we are sitting and we are sharing inputs and everything. How can we learn from the group learning? That is sociocultural. And humanistic is that student-centered teaching. This is now happening in Finland, like their teacher-student ratio is 1:6 or 1:5. So they are taking too much individual attention, and then it is easy for them. For us, it is a little bit difficult. And positive psychology, we can encourage students' positivity by neglecting the negative attitudes. So based on this, we can go for each and every application. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Artificial intelligence. ಅದು work பண்ண மாட்டேங்குது.
Sir, as artificial intelligence is growing, can in one particular stage, can it equalize human?
It is already excelling human, but as you say, artificial intelligence. Let us consider the word intelligence first. Sir was telling about UQ. Where there is something called IQ. So intelligence is a Greek term from intelligere. The term is intelligere means understanding. Greek term is understanding. So it is already there. But what this difference between us and computer is that if you can interact with the chat GPT, it will interact with you with a sweet tongue and everything. It will make you happy. It will appreciate you for each and every question. It knows how to manipulate you. It knows how to, because it understands. But what human intelligence is doing is that we want to excel. That's the basic difference. As long as we want to outsmart other person, we will never win in intelligence war. If we are understanding, we will definitely win intelligence. So if you want to consider human being as a competition for AI, AI always exceeds. If human being understands AI loses, we win. That's the basic. So we understand, we have more understanding because the Greek term intelligere itself is understanding. So say for example, I'm asking this, take this image and give me the, fill in the, populate the cells. If I'm giving the command, it can do it within 4 seconds. I cannot do it. Even though I know, I cannot do it because it has a processor, the hardware, how much fast it is, how much capable it is. I have a lot of difficulties going on. After Birani is going on. So lot of things I have to do. I have to ignore everything. Then I have to think. When it coming to hardware capability or the smartness, we cannot outsmart them. But if we understand them, as in the case of electricity, if we want to exceed, if you want to have an upper hand over AI, we need to be a good master. We will always consider that as a master, because the slave or the worker will always be smarter than the boss. Always, definitely. So we will consider that within our control. But if you are in a competition mode, I don't think human beings cannot beat AI, because their hardware is I'm having hardware only in my body. They are having hardware all over the world. Their presence is strong. Okay.
சார்
சொல்லுங்க மேம்.
இங்க என்ன சார் சொன்னாங்க
ஆ.
ஆக்சுவலி இன்னும் கொஞ்ச நேரம் நீங்க கொஸ்டின் கேட்டுட்டே இருந்தா நாங்க யாரும் பிரசன்ட் பண்ண வேண்டாம்
ஆஹா.
அந்த பயத்துல அப்ப இது எந்த சைக்காலஜில ஃபிட் ஆகும்
I am also enjoying. I am also enjoying because I was there sleepy.
எல்லாரும் அந்த
So
பயம் சைக்காலஜி will fit in.
yeah, we call that escapism. But anyway, so this is like operant conditioning. This is what operant conditioning. So we cleverly scheme things so they let it happen on its way. We call it as it is coming under no, it is coming on behaviorism. Classical conditioning, you know, the dog experiment. That's opposite of it. Operant conditioning. Thank you, sir. Any other doubts, please? Nowadays, I think this entire thing stopped after 1970s or something like that. 1990s, Martin Seligman came and he launched this positive psychology. 1956, humanistic extension. So the one perspective, the difference, chronological difference between one school and other perspective is around 15 to 20 years. So this is not a field that is growing very rapidly. Okay, so it is our responsibility as agencies like AACTE or UHP or something like that. We have to come up. We are always telling students like, you are studying a syllabus what I studied, and I was studying a syllabus what my teachers studied, and they were studying syllabus what their teachers were studying. So more than 60, 70 years in India, this is the syllabus for the first year. So what I am telling is that this is good, but when you take post-humanism, there will be some regional demands. That's why I personally believe UHV came into existence in India. Like in South Africa, there is something called Pan-African psychology is there. In Australia, that Maori tribe phenomenon, they are getting into their own Pan-Australian psychology. They deny the Western psychology. In Australia and New Zealand, the tribal people, they start to have their own. In Southeast Asian countries, they are starting their own psychology. They are starting their own understanding of human behavior. So post-humanism is like it gave us freedom. Like all these things have shortcomings. So let us try and start exploring on our own. So that's what going to be the result. We will see after 10 years something may be happening, and the advent of AI will also give us some idea how we integrate with the landscape-oriented behaviorism, temperate regions-oriented behaviorism. Say, for example, behavior of a South Indian and behavior of North Indian is going to be different, and behavior of a Kashmiris with the Haryana people going to be different. These are going to be happening. These are going to happening, but it takes a long, like 50 years or something like that. It will happen. Any other questions?
Sir, according to you, which psychology combination you think best suits our country or this kind of education system what we are in?
Ma'am, our country has a different perspective. If I am keeping a board, Dr. Sendil Kumaran, counseling psychologist, people will not come. If I keep a board, Dr. Sendil Kumaran, astrologist, or Swamiji, Babaji, people will definitely come. So the point here is that when you take about reception of people, when you take though no one likes you are having a negative behavior because you are suffering in your childhood. No one likes this statement. No one likes this statement. Maybe in private they may think and rehearse, but not in the common, and they don't want to proudly say that yes, I am affected in my childhood. No one says that like that. So we are having this collectivistic society. Sir was pointing it in the morning. Collectivistic society is that whenever I am developing, I am making sure that my family is developing. So in future, we can say community psychology is going to be better for Indian setup, where if you are living in a neighborhood, if you are living in an apartment system or something like that, if you are living in the proper area, closed gated community and all, in future, there may be, I am training my students in that. You may be a psychologist for that community. You may be a psychologist for your neighborhood. So we are concentrating on rural psychology. Morning also I was discussing with faculty from agricultural college. So they are going to start rural psychology also. So we cannot come from top down in India. We have to go from bottom up processing. So that is the best way. But we were taught, our teachers were taught like that. We have to establish a office and we start counseling and all. My honest question to my teacher was the same. My student is asking, sir, why are you not starting counseling? I know no one is going to come. Let me come to SRM for work. So that is the way we go with that. So if we start community psychology, and moreover, community team of psychologists are the best. So that is where group of people acting for action team, that is what going to be making in reality. Otherwise, the negative circle will always go. So in future, community psychology is going to be the hottest subject. In another 5 to 10 years, it is going to be like that. Any other questions? Ma'am. என்ன வச்சு முடிச்சலாம்னு பாக்குறீங்க அப்படின்னு yeah. I want so this year we started thanks to UHV team. Without informing UHV team, we have done something. So this year now we tried as an experiment. It is working well. This year we started MSc Counseling Psychology, first time master's course, and we have around 48 students there. We have a elective, general elective, in which we included belief systems, knowledge systems, and understanding harmony. So 3 subjects we have included. So we want to try it and we will tell it. And now it is going on. It is going on. As usual, students are telling, PG students are telling, sir, this is the class we are enjoying very well. Let us have this class more and more. Like as it is, I'm asking them to move the chairs and sit in the floor itself. And then if you want to sleep, you sleep, no problem. The other class, I'm taking counseling, ethics and legals. I'm teaching them laws, like Indian laws, to prevent them from bad practice and all. There I will not make sure I will make sure that they are all aware and awake. If they are sleeping, I will ask them to stand and do it. But now, sir, this is the only class you are very much soft and calm, though you're not disturbing. So already I'm getting some positive output from that, and they understood. Now, last week we had done the CT for the basic foundational values and everything. All of them has written all the 9 values very well. They understand, and whatever you go and ask, understanding harmony, happiness, and prosperity, they are having this idea in their mind. So that one thing, when let it come, and I will give it.
Sir, I have one question.
Right.
So some people hide their sorrows. They'll be sad inside, but they'll be portraying that they'll be very happy outside. They'll be kidding their friends. They'll be listening to songs. They'll be dancing, everything. So what type of psychology, school of psychology will this fit in?
Ma'am, I want to ask one thing. Eating, we invented eating first, or we invented hotels first? Eating was the first thing. Hotels came. So behavior is first. Psychology is very new. Okay, behavior is there since our barbarian lifestyle itself. So we cannot actually compare everything with psychology. Okay, we can try. So what is happening there is that they have an idea that they are learning, actually speaking, behaviorism. That's why it is ruling our life. Behaviorism is ruling our life. If I show my sad face, if I show my reality, I will not be judged properly, and I have experience about it. Or I have a learning, fake it till you make it. So I am having a defense mechanism is that. There is the ego defense mechanism. So if I am sad, I purposely be happy. I purposely be active. So it is like, if you are poor, be rich. That's the thing they are trying to make. Where that is like that. But everything, I want to say one thing. After behavior happened, after people started to go to war, especially World War I and II, only psychology came into effect. So when their lifestyle, when European lifestyle got broken into pieces, they don't know what to do, they started psychology. That's the basis of everything here. But previously, it was supposed to be personal development only. When Aristotle was telling, Plato was telling, they never spoke about abnormal psychology, they never spoke about psychopathology. But I don't think, like nowadays, even parents, those who are admitting their students, they don't know about any study psychology and everything. They are asking, can you treat multiple personality disorder? Can you treat split personality disorder? Can you treat depression? So all these things they came to know about movies only. Other than that, they don't know anything. Other than that, they know anything. And they always quote the movie 3. They always quote the movie 3. It is completely opposite of what we see, what we study in the book. What is shown in the movie, that's why the movie is flop. So whatever we study in the book, it is completely opposite in that movie. So projected realities are making people to behave. That is again behaviorism. Projected realities making people to behave. Okay. So if I am asking Daim, what is the next one? No. Daim. Next. Now, if I am asking the same thing to a student, Daim, they will say grr. This is a trend going on in Instagram right now. If you say Daim, the opposite person should say grr, right? That. So this is the projected realities are, instead of people start to think creative and put creative reels and everything. Now reels are reversing the human life. So that is from behaviorism. That is from behaviorism. We are taking from the projected reality. So any other questions?
You are talking about movies, sir. இப்ப some person யாராவது நம்ம ஆபீஸ்லயோ கலீக்ஸ்லோ அவங்க ஒரு மாதிரி நடந்துட்டா அவன் சரியான சைக்கோ அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்கல்ல. அது ஏன் அந்த வேர்டு வந்ததுன்னே எனக்கு இப்ப now I am thinking.
Last UHV when we were there in BS.
But actually that is they are showing the reality or they are acting so that we are calling அவன் சரியான சைக்கா இருப்பான் அவன்ட்டு பேசவே முடியாது அப்படின்ட்டு.
Sweetie ma'am still saved my number, Psycho Senthil only. Like so anyway, let me. I wanted to go and sit, but anyway, let me tell one love story. Then I will go and sit. Okay, please. Ma'am was asking why this word psycho. As I told in the last UHV with Gopal sir also, ego is a word which has been multiply in a different way. It has been understood. Now we are saying healthy ego. Like ego is very good actually. Without ego you are nothing. Without ego you are nothing. But are we pushing our ego on others? That's the problem. When we are pushing our ego on others, that's going to be problem. Yes, I'm asking. Only two people, maximum two or three persons in our life are without permission, they will put their ego on us without our permission. One is our father, second one is our mother, third one is our spouse. So these three people will automatically do it. But all the other people, I think it's our personal mental hygiene. We should not allow them to do so. That's the space we are giving. So our parents, our spouse, they have the right to spoil us. They have a right to exploit us. They can do. Okay. But I don't think colleagues or superior or students or even fellow community people, it's like we have to protect our mental hygiene. We have to establish that. So regarding the word psych, I will say Alfred Hitchcock was the fellow, again movie. He was the director in 1960s and 70s. He developed 3 movies, Psycho 1, Psycho 2, Psycho 3. The opening is a murder of a heroine. Okay. So our famous notion of calling people who are behaving differently as psycho came from that fellow only. Again, the movie people disturb us a lot. So one thing, this happened 2000 years back, only small story. So 2000 years back, there was a youngster around 25 or 26 years old in Greece, started to roam around the Greece. So he started to write a book of the folklores happened in entire Rome. What are the folklores happened? On his way, he met a shepherd. He met a shepherd and asked, tell me any story. I'm noting it for my history book and everything. Now the shepherd told a story that happened 2000 years before the book was written. Now again 4000 years. There was a big, not a king, maybe a lord type of person, like next to king or the duke type of person. He has 3 daughters. Daughter A, daughter B, both the people are average attractiveness. Daughter C is highly attractive. Attractive is like any man seeing her will go into depression. In a positive sense, oh, I am not equal to her. I am not equal to her. So the problem of attractive persons, boys or girls, is that people will think that they are already committed, so no one will approach them. So daughter A and daughter B is getting lot of marriage proposals from all other lords and everywhere. Daughter C, no one is asking her. So this duke went to oracle and told that, what can I do? My daughter is like this. Okay, then the oracle told that, go and there is a cave, drop her in the cave and come back. That's all. There will be a monster coming, and both of them will start their life, and they will give birth to children. They will be happily living, but they will not be with you hereafter. You have to forget your daughter. Same time, they went. The landlord, the lord, went and dropped the girl in the cave, and a monster came, and then the monster was fell in love with the girl, and then they had they were about to have a kid, like it was 6 months or something like that. She was pregnant, but the condition is that monster promised the daughter, I will come to you only at the night, and I will not see your face. You should not see my face. Okay. Whatever you want a palace, I'm giving it to you. You want servants, I'm giving it to you. You want all food and everything, I'm giving it to you because I have magical powers. I'm a monster. I will come only in the night. I will make love to you. I will be with you. And the morning I will go out. So then after 6 months, this daughter A and B goes to meet daughter C and then knows that this is what happening in my life. I have never seen my husband. That says that's a husband and everything. So then the daughter A and B, with jealous and everything, because there was a huge palace, gold and everything, they told that, no, you have to today see his face somehow. So that night, again, the monster comes, and then there was a small lamp beneath the bed. When the monster comes, this girl, daughter C, takes the lamp and tries to see the face of the monster. The monster is actually an attractive boy, very much attractive, handsome boy. He is not a monster, very much active. So then the monster, the boy got angry. No, I told you that you should not see my face. You have seen my face. So I'm going. I'm not going to be with you. Later, it turned out that he is the god of love, Cupid. You have seen that the boy with the wings and everything. So Cupid himself fall in love with this particular daughter. This daughter's name is Psyche. This daughter's name is Psyche. So after that, she pleaded the Lord Jupiter and Venus, everyone, and there was a huge serial-wise drama and everything. Everything is done. Finally, the gods accepted her to be a demigod. So the psychology started. Human being can be a mortal god with the struggles and everything. At the same time, human being will do mistakes by crossing the lines of God. So psycho, the word you said, came from that girl's story that happened 4,000 years ago, as per Greek mythology. Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions? Thanks.
Yes. Yes. So we have Dr. Thila Gavatnam. I'm not able to. And then Dr. B. Usha and Dr. Sheena. Dr. Sheena. Please come. What is the first name? Dr. Tila Gativati. She's not here? Acha. Please come. Usha Didi, please come. Where they are, no? Now all the 3 persons can come and explain. So you can share what is prepared for your life, own life.
Paya, I spoke in the morning. No, we can ask Sangita ma'am. She can speak. I spoke in the morning.
The other team,
Sangita ma'am. She.
point number 8 if you see, no? 7. Point number 7. That is
Life
the-
of
Yeah, for your life.
Okay. Good afternoon, one and all present here. Actually, sir has explained the psychology in very clear manner. So now my our psychology is what is going to happen next. I really don't know. So I'm directly coming to the point what sir has said with regarding of life application. Here, the life application of all the psychology school has been done with self, human. So like in the form of structural, it is meant with regarding of increasing self-awareness. So like how we are being structurally be self-aware that what eye is going to do, what nose is going to do. As I told about of structure, it's about of self-awareness. So the life application can be done through the structural self-awareness. And the second point is with regarding of functionalism. It is about of help in problem solving and adoption. How we are going to make the function of applicability. That is, application is how we are going to do. So how we are going to make the challenge and how it is going to be met up. And the third one with regarding of psychodynamic, it is being come as a concept of therapy for self-conflict and transformation. So it's being based upon of each one. So we cannot say that ice cream is fit for everyone. For some body condition, it will not be good. So we cannot say that chocolate is good for everyone. A sweet is good for, because it's being based upon the conflict and self-transformation. The psychodynamic school has been done. And the fourth one about of behavioralism, it's being done with usefulness in behavior changes. So how we are being changing, like as we can say that it's being like of stress interview or situational interview. So our behavior will be get changed based upon of each situations. So it talks about in that aspect. And the next one is about of cognitive. It is with regarding of problem solving, like emotional intelligence and cognitive intelligence. Both will be there in a human. So we cannot be always in the mode of cognitive aspect. Even there will be a concept of emotional intelligence. And the next school of social cultures talks about of how the promoters tolerate with regarding of societal utility. So how far we are using the society and how we are extracting the resources of the society. So we should be get aware, then the resource utilization will be fine. So that's what being in that aspect. And the next humanities is with regarding of encouraging in an authenticated way. So how we are treating the equal human as human, how we are agreeing them as a form of real human. So as how myself, the same is other self is also. So there is no in the form of upper and higher. And the last one with regarding of positive psychology, it talks about of enhanced happiness and productivity. So it's being of positive, everywhere we want to see the positivity. Like how we can make that in a productive way, how we can increase the aspect. So this is with regarding of life applications. Thank you.
And next team. So we have Dr. M. Kamala Nidhini, Dr. Mary, Dr. Bhuvaneshwari, Dr. Kritika, Dr. T.M. Jayashri, and Dr. Shanmuga Priya.
We're actually 6 members, sir, in a team. We all 6 work together. Good afternoon, all. Like we are representing from the team name Besties. Actually, I would like to explain these all school of psychology with a simple example. relating the kid fearing for the exam, like anxiety raised due to examination fear. So based on that, different psychologists like I thought to tell. And structuralism mainly deals with dry mouth, like what are all the physical anxiety which causes to the kid, like how I'm feeling now. So that is structuralism. That for structuralism, psychology focuses on that. Then functionalism is like alertness, like I have to study well, I have to get good marks. So that part will be covered under functionalism. Yes. Then psychodynamic is like we used to always scold our kid if you are not getting good marks. From childhood, it has been implemented even now, till now. Like whenever we used to write some exam, we used to expect good marks. Even after we grown up, we used to expect that we should write well. So that preconditioning is there from the childhood, that we should study well and we should get good marks. So that is psychodynamic psychology. Then behaviorism, it's mainly like fear due to exam. So that defines the behaviorism psychology. And cognitive is we have to go through that exam, that thinking. So that thinking will be related to cognitive psychology. And socio-cultural is like dealing with the past history. For example, like we used to tell our kid, like your father got good mark in this subject, your mother got good mark in this subject, but you're not able to do so. So that comes from the socio-cultural, mainly from the history and social and culture. And humanistic is like I'll be able to do. The kid is like I'll be able to do, and I can clear the exam. And with the positive sense, if he is able to do that, that may be from humanistic psychology. And positive psychology, I think so. We need to implement this to our kids so that they can succeed in the future. And we should give positive psychology for our kids and younger generation. So this is a simple example focusing on all the types of psychology. And applicability of each and every psychology to life is given at a single point. So first, structuralism, like useful for self-reflection. So we can use for self-reflection and self-exploration. Then functionalism, it is relevant to education and applied fields. And psychodynamic, like it is used for mainly therapy and understanding motives. And behaviorism, it is mainly used as education therapy and behavior modification. And cognitive, mainly for decision making. It's very much important, decision making part. And social cultural, like multicultural adaptation is required. And humanistic, like education wise also we can do, and personal growth wise also we can do. And positive psychology, like mental health for mental well-being, and workplace environment and happiness can be done. And these are all the aspects of how this different schools of psychology is applicable for different aspects of life. Thank you all.
You can also talk about the full human potential, whether it is being addressed or not in various schools of psychology.
Full potential.
Yeah, full potential. Is it addressed or not?
Full potential for each and every psychology.
Yes. The third point, maybe.
So
Okay,
full
fine.
potential of like each and every psychology deals with specific points. So we cannot tell that full potential has been reached. So that is my aspect, sir. I don't know about my team members.
I can go with the positive psychology, Bhaiya.
Yes,
From
sir,
my
that's it.
experience, how do I feel is with the positive psychology, I can bring the full potential of human being. Yes.
I'm saying that whether it is being addressed or not. So if you look at the humanistic, they are talking about self-actualization. So
Okay.
they are saying that there is something which could be your
Limitation.
fullest potential,
Okay.
which you can work for. Maybe, so that is one thing. Yeah. Nice.
Thank you, sir.
The other team. Other team. So Dr. Radha, Dr. Amuta, Dr. Pongal, Ponmagal. Yeah.
Virtual motivator. 1 minute. Out class. அவர் ஏதாவது ஒரு பாயிண்ட் கிட்டாருன்னா நான் சொல்லணும்ல. கண்ணு தெரியாதுப்பா. So myself Radha,
I have seen my life through these factors, through these schools. So according to me, for me, I don't think structuralism is going to help much. So whatever I have been gone through, or uh, the ideologies of that doesn't fit well with my life. So I don't think the observation part is too much to keep accumulating in mind. So that I have to go inside and check what is happening, whether it is right or wrong, whether I have to adapt it or not. That is really difficult for me. But functionalism, to to the maximum extent, I think I can adapt it, and I can move out from the place where I am. A certain part of my life, I might have stuck in certain things. So I think I can use that. And as far as psychodynamic, it is a proper treatment that can help most of the individuals who have suffered from childhood trauma. So that is a very good option for them. And again, with behavior, um, we can understand the intention with which things is happening, by understanding the surroundings, by understanding what has made them to react in such a way. So rather than blaming a person, understand the situation. So that might give us a better idea about an individual. So with that, we can help people in a lot of sense. And cognitive, it is still not clear, but as it is said, we can that is mostly used for decision making. But in our life, it is not, everything is not decision making process. So most of the times it is emotionally we take certain decision. So we cannot plan, we cannot think, we cannot take into a lot of parameters and then go sit, analyze and take a decision. It's on the go decision we take. So there is still some clarity needed. All these things are with respect to me and my life. And the social process, this is where I am struck, actually, the socio cultural thing. Because of the societal belief and the cultural belief, uh, the things that happened for in my life is so much related to this. So I really hate that phenomena. Actually, we have to have grown out from all those things. If my parents or my grandparents had a better view about this, then my life could have been better. So that was my thought process. Whenever I look at what happened, this is what I'll always think. So according to me, we have to adapt to the trend, what is happening now, and we have to have some fine tuning related to the social idea or the cultural ideas, whatever we have, or we have to bring in our culture so that it blends with what is happening nowadays. The current need has to be somehow incorporated from there, or we have to tune that to adapt to this. And okay, other than this, humanistic and positive approach, I think both are really good. Both are giving us a better opportunity to grow. Better understanding is there. So whenever we feel positive, I think we can move ahead. We can break any kind of barrier. So with that only, I think I'm moving on, and that is the real backbone behind what I am right now.
Next team. So we have Dr. Mr. V. Vendana Venkat Narayana. Yeah, please come. Okay. Then Dr. R. Ramya Devi. Okay, but you all can, yeah, fine. So I have also taken content from ChatGPT. Only that you have to refer it to the textbook also, because I could see that whatever you are able to derive by your own reading, ChatGPT is able to do it better. Only thing that you have to cross check whether it is coming out properly or not. Fine. But you all can comment upon point number 7, how it applies to your life. For example, if you look at structuralism, what perception do I get by looking at a person? Okay, this is very important. Like whenever you see a person, you get some perception about the person by looking at the height, color, looking to the listening to the voice. Okay, so you get some perception. Are you really aware of that? You start liking some person, disliking some person. It could be the case just by looking at the person, by looking at some physical facility. You look at some car and you get fond of that car. What made you get fond of that car? Okay, what perception did you derive out of that? This is very important. So if you look at structuralism also, we all can make out how do we perceive the through the sensation. We get sensation of sound, touch, sight, and how do we perceive through sensation? In fact, the enslavement through sensation can be very well made out by this particular theory. We say now that I am enslaved by the sensations. How I am getting enslaved by the sensation? So I am getting some perception in me. I am associating some meaning to the perception. Right? What meaning I am attaching to what kind of sensation? On what basis? Can I make it out? So try to look into that. This will help you. Similarly, for survival, we have so much of fear for survival. So this has been working, the functionality. We're trying to make ourselves fit. If everybody is speaking in English, let's say, in a college, then I try to learn English very fast so that I can fit into that society. So I have that fear of my survival, or I'm trying to adapt to the new environment. Whenever you go to some place, you try to adapt to that environment so that your job is secure, your life is secure, your family is secure. So it is working somewhere, isn't it? Similarly, the unconscious thoughts that you can make out, the deep sanskars in you, the fears that you are having, fear of life or death, right? The fear of losing respect, the fear of losing status. So many unconscious forces are working inside you at the level of your conditioning. You can make out. They have done something, but you can utilize this particular theory, or you can utilize this approach to look into your own fears, your own sources of anxiety, sources of discomfort, which you might not have been able to even find out for yourself so far. So for example, you can study your dreams. You just try to make out what dreams you had in the past 1 month. Try to see, and take it as an exercise. You look into your dreams for the past 1 month and saw all that happened in your dreams.
Dreams, na. Some dreams, na, Bhaiya, like it's so a kind of fantasy. It would have never been happened, but it is coming in the dream. Maximum time living in this imagination world only, Bhaiya.
Look into that. Maybe you have some craving inside.
Huh.
That craving is working in the form of dreams.
Correct. It's happening.
Yes.
That is what, see, what you said is correct. That craving is there, but it is not going to happen, and it is not has happened, but that picture is coming.
I have always seen that, like, there would be so many things happening in a day. There would be some situation in which the relationship was not fulfilled, let's say. Okay, or I did not fulfill my responsibility well. Now I will be dreaming this somewhere towards the dawn, towards the dawn of the day, right? So that will be appearing in the dreams, because something I'm trying to churn within me, how I could resolve that situation.
Actually, more than this life, no, this imagination feels so comfortable, happy, getting fulfill everything over there only.
What in the dreams? So fine, try to look into your unconscious. So these are your deep sanskars, okay, which you might not be even aware of, might not be sharing with anyone. Yeah. So for example, you may have fear of waters. Whenever you go inside a river, right, or you are there by the water side, you are getting some fear. You might have fear of spirits. Going to a dark room, right? Which
you find what sanskar has been associated.
Yeah, see, if I do not understand the difference between self and body, and I consider myself to be temporary, I will have that fear. Generally, it is said that there are 4 kinds of fear. Okay, pran bhay, so fear of life. Pad bhay, fear of losing post. Post. That I can lose the particular post. Yeah. Then dhan bhai, I can lose wealth.
Wealth.
And then man bhai, I can lose respect or status.
Oh, இதெல்லாம் இல்ல பய டிசீஸ் பயம் ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கு பய ஓசி problem.
So these are 4 kinds of fears which have been traditionally studied in our
This
country.
disease come in the first pran.
Yeah, pran bhai, the basic cause of this pran bhai is that I assume myself to be the body. Man bhai, the fear of losing respect, because I assume the praises showered by others as respect, which is not right evaluation. So pad bhai, so something that I have been given as a status or as a post in an organization or something, I assume it to be the source of happiness in me. So somebody has made me director. If I lose the post of director tomorrow, my life is gone. And not who is going to ask for permission before entering my room anymore? They will just barge into my room.
இந்த பயம் நிறைய இருக்கு பயம்.
So all those kinds of things could be there. So losing fear of losing post, you know. Similarly, fear of losing wealth. Today I have this much. If somebody loots it, somebody takes it, snatches it, then what will happen in my life? Who will take care of my children? Who will take care of my life? So all these become anxieties in you. Okay. Similarly, for example, you are appearing some examination. If you do not succeed in that examination, who will respect you? People will laugh at you. And if you succeed, every magazine is going to flash your image in the magazine. So that craving is there, and on the other side, the fear is there. So unconsciously, it is working, and we can be aware of that. Similarly, sir told so many things about behaviorism, right? How we get conditioned. Either it is operant conditioning or classical conditioning, but we get conditioned. Similarly, by the social norms, the cultural norms, we try to be somehow a part of the crowd, right? Even if I am able to see things correctly, but if everybody is going the wrong way, I try to pick the wrong way, right? So the pressure out of society. Then here also, if you look at the humanistic, then it is assuming that like people will first prioritize the physical needs, the needs of the body, and they will later on go for the self-actualization. And this is something that is prevalent in the society. First of all, we feel that, okay, let me have a job first, and then we'll do all these things. Okay, let me earn enough for my family, and then these things will come later in my life. So you may have the priority like this in our life. If you look at the overall prioritization in your life since childhood, this might be the case. And then here, in fact, positive psychology. So I'll say that this is not actually representing the source of continuity of happiness. What it is representing is, according to me, it's my observation, that the continuity of happiness is not assured, but you try to make yourself happy by some means or the other. For example, there's trouble in the family. Okay, the family relations are not good. So what to do? So engage yourself in some fine art, do some music, painting, okay, or do some social activity. Maybe relations are not working well, the children are not listening, the spouse is not cooperating. So what to do? I'll spend my child in the orphanage most of the time. Yeah. Trouble is also not there. Trouble is here itself. So my expectation outside is troubling me. It's my expectation. Outside only there are events. Yeah. So I'll say that largely, if you see, people are trying to be happy by joining some moments of happiness, stitching their life. So this part is working that way. Yes. Now, what we are trying to work out is how to ensure continuity of happiness. So when we study the Indian psychology, you will see how people have tried to address happiness in a continuous manner. Nice. Any other?
Bhaiya, one
Ji.
question. This is related to the dream only, but not a fantasy dream, a tragic dream. What if a person is continuously, every day, he or she is having a dream like falling from somewhere else, or catching fire in the building, or things inside the room is falling towards them, or they are going to affect somebody else who's sleeping near them? So what type of psychology is that person in?
Yeah, so one has to make out for oneself that if something of that sort is happening, then what is the feeling in me? What is the fear in me? If some building catches fire, then what next? Am I getting, is my existence getting vanished? what is happening to me? Or my relatives are no more, what is happening to me? So that I have to make out whether I have fear of relationship, losing the relationship, or fear of losing life, or fear of losing wealth. That I have to make out.
And even the person is telling that I could feel the heat of the fire also in the dream itself. So in what kind of psychological mind the person will be during the unconscious state, during sleep?
See, in fact, many studies have been done there also, right? So, sir may be better in a position to detail upon that. Many experiments have been done. So, for example, if you are also, it can also be due to some your physical position during sleeping. So, for example, if you press your chest, you might have fear of death or something, right? Or if your feet uh, are very cold or something, then you can have a different kind of dream. So, all those possibilities are there. So that can be studied also, how the state of the body affects your dreams. This is one part. Secondly, you have certain fears and acceptances inside, which are triggering, which you are not able to share during the day. So that may also be the cause. Yeah. And whenever you have fear, no, the same effect would be there on the body. You will start sweating during sleep. That will be there. Nice. Yeah. So the names are not written here. Only Department of Languages, Culture and Society. When is the break? 3:15. Okay. Nice. So well done. Yeah. So anyone else would like to share something? Yes. Yes. So what I'll say that utilizing all these theories, try to look into your sanskars. Try to look into your deep acceptances. How you get, how you perceive things through sensation, how you try to struggle for survival, how you get conditioned by the society, how you get conditioned by the events outside, right? What you are doing for the sake of happiness. Try to link into all these things. Nice. So in place of going further, then what we can do, we can break for tea. Suprada Didi, we can break for tea and then assemble at 3:30. And we'll go up to 5 or later. 5. 4:50. Okay. Okay. Like that. Nice.